All right, I think we're on.
Yeah, I think we live.
All right, well, you looking live at Cowboys Sports Talk with B Bird Cowboys, father and son Cowboys and Sports Talk with B Bird Cowboys. We're going to recap the Cowboys Raiders game that happened on last night, and just talk about how the team looked and what we're going to be doing going forward. So, B Bird, you ready to go?
Ready to go, brother.
Let's
How you
talk
doing
about the.
today?
I'm doing good. We got to win. Doing good. You know, when the Cowboys win, everything is right in the city. You know.
Yeah, the air smells a little bit better. The food tastes a little bit better, man. You know, the water's a little cooler. Just
Hmm.
you can hear birds singing and all that kind of stuff, man. After a win.
That's typically how it happens. And so, what I've been saying is, people say, "Well, you know, it's a must-win game." You don't have any games in Dallas where you can lose. It doesn't work
Nah,
that like here.
nah.
You lose one game, all hell breaks loose.
That's right.
That's typically how it goes. So what were your initial thoughts about the game? Just watching it last night.
Well, it's a game that we did what we supposed to do, man. We're a better team than that team, man. And we did what we supposed to do to it. The one thing about the Raiders that I'll tell you what I took from them. They got one player on their whole team that just stands out, man. Uh, Crosby is just a player, man. He just,
Hmm.
I was like, God, this guy here, man, is something else. And I know I'm not just saying that because I wanted him here, because I definitely love what Williams did. But
Hmm.
the guy just stands out, man. He has a motor. He plays every down. I was like, God, this guy, he's all over the place. But I would say this, like, they were worse than, if you really look at it, they were worse than the Jets, to be totally honest with you. And I'm trying not to take anything away
Yeah.
from the Cowboys. Could you hold for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Cowboys because I definitely wanted to win and we got that.
Hmm.
But man, I started looking at some of the stats, the running, lack thereof, attempts for the Raiders. And then one of the things I looked at, man, I said, okay, I said I was going to do this today. Could you give me their number one wide receiver?
I don't even know who they are.
So if you don't know the number one, you definitely don't know the number two, right?
Mm-mm.
Or the number three. And so I've never seen a team with wide receivers that was that unknown or that bad. So I love the win, but I don't know if it's a lot that you. What's up, Jules?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know if it's a lot you could take away from this game, man. I love the win, but I don't know if y'all seen something different. But I just what I got this game was, man, we did what we supposed to do. But God, the Raiders got a long way to go, man. I was like, God, I couldn't think of a player besides Max Crosby that stood out in that game that I could be like, okay, I want that guy. That guy that played. They just not a real good team. It's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, and so watching the game in the first quarter, I was telling Jules, yeah, they really should just throw the ball on us because they was having success at first. And say, Jules, you got a little bit of feedback in your background. Um, but I was just saying they really shouldn't run because the way to beat us is to throw the ball. But you know, they did occasionally try to run it. I just don't think you can. I'm kind of getting confident just watching this game last night. It's gonna be kind of hard to run on us, but we got to see more than one game. But yeah, they have a, you know, for the first time, Pete Carroll looks old to me. You know, he's been old all this
Yeah,
time, but he just looks old.
yeah,
You know, when they get to that stage right there, you know, Father Time is undefeated. But
yes,
yeah, it was an impressive game. So just talk about the defense first. The defensive line, you know, they were terrific. But again, the
outstanding.
Raiders have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. But I did like what I see. So what did you think about Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson?
Man, I'll talk about Quentin Williams. So this game has a defense has a lot of synergy to it. And what I mean by that is if I can if my defensive line can get to your quarterback and make him uncomfortable, make him throw the ball a half second faster. It's crazy how my defensive backs play better at that point in time,
Yeah.
right? Or if my defensive backs can cover a little bit longer, it's crazy that now we can get more sacks. So it's always synergy between the defense. And I think if people think like, okay, a layman might think like, well, how does Quentin Williams help your pass? No, dude, this guy helped the pass defense because he rushed up things. Also, just people having to commit to stopping him is going to leave some of your other guys open, man. So that's the best the defensive line has played all year. Now, their offensive line may be the worst in the league, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end, hey, look, if Duncanville's playing against the Sisters of the Poor, they're supposed to be the made it nothing. And they beat the made it nothing. So that's what they're supposed to do, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they doing what you're supposed to do to a team like that. So with that offensive line being in tatters, you're supposed to do what you did to them. Don't make them look. But we've been. I got to give us some credit from yesterday because before we've been at this state where we play against an injury-plagued offensive line, and now we ain't got no sacks or we ain't got no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, we came in and we were better than them, and we showed we were better than them, and everything turned out the way it's supposed to be. Love what Quentin Williams did yesterday. I just think that type of talent in the middle, it just makes everything else easier, man.
Jules, you can chime in.
Yeah, let me know if I got feedback.
No, you're
Um,
good. And I'm gonna check the air while you're doing this.
all right, and yeah, I mean, I rewatched the game yesterday, and I mean, like you said, B Bird, at first I'm gonna say it like this. At first, I was thinking that it was gonna be no way that we was gonna be able to keep Kenny Clark. You know, I thought it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna be no way we could keep Kenny Clark. But now, after I seen that last night, and now I know it was the Raiders and it's a bad offensive line, but if you know football, you know football, and you know these guys are doing some. You know when guys are doing good things, like
Yeah,
like I don't care who's covering George Pickens. That catch that he made in the end zone where he was out of bounds, regular receivers don't catch those type of passes.
yeah,
That was an awesome catch. It doesn't matter who's covering them. You know what I'm saying? So, um, with what I said all that to say, they're gonna have to figure out a way to keep Kenny Clark. They're gonna have to figure out a way to keep Kenny Clark because when you got Kenny Clark on the field and Quentin Williams, I mean Quentin Williams, he was rushing dudes and he was taking two or three on at once.
yeah,
And he was moving them back. Like it was like, it's just like, how when like, okay, where is Micah? We got him out of Micah. Well, Quentin Williams gives us that again. Where is this
yeah.
guy? Where is he lining up at? Because that's going to dictate what we're going to do. Because it's like you said, it's married to the passing game. Because
Jules,
rushing and passing, that's been guys. You know,
but
I think I got feedback, but
yeah, you got some. You kind of breaking up. Maybe put us on speaker or something. Um, so while you work on that, but yeah, so the defense. I thought the secondary, Bland, I think played one of his better games. Um, I was encouraged by Kalen Carson. I was really caught off guard by his play. And that's the one thing about this game, B Bird. You can judge the coverage because they can throw the ball. They're not the worst in the league as far as the passing game. They can throw it downfield and they did. But I thought our defensive backs, safeties, showed up again like the way Bland played. Saw Savon Revell. I thought Revell and Overshawn they look kind of stiff. I really wanted to see them play just a little bit, and so I think they did okay. It's probably going to take them a couple of games to kind of get it going, but yeah, I just think the pace of the defense, the urgency, we hadn't seen that this year, and look, it's hopium, but so last Friday on the show with Big Time, I said last night was a wild card game, B Bird,
Yeah,
and I said this Sunday is a playoff game.
yeah, it
So,
definitely is.
what you saw last night, it's encouraging as far as taking on the Eagles. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I tell you what. So that's gonna be the game where like I would have no like. Well, it was. I won't have that after next game, right? If we beat the Philadelphia Eagles and just beat them, not necessarily how we beat them. That's more of a game to me than more of a litmus test
Mm-hmm.
than the Raiders. because they have the two good wide receivers. They have the offensive line. I think one of the best linemen is going to be out, but they have the offensive line. They got the quarterback. They got the running back. I may have said that. Receivers. They got everything. If we could, battle those guys, get some 3-and-outs, they're going to score their points probably. But if we get some 3-and-outs, do what we do on offense, man. That's going to be the one right there that says like, but God, I looked at our schedule, man. We got another playoff teams left on our schedule. It's going to be very tough, man.
It's
But
tough.
I think this week is going to tell us a lot more. Let me say this too, man. I don't want to throw a wet blanket on it because I definitely was encouraged last night. I also think too, man, in these kind of games, it's great to get those wide receivers out there, those young guys, and let them get some confidence. Excuse me, I said wide receivers. I mean cornerbacks, and it's good for them to get some confidence that hey, I could do this out there.
Hmm.
Take the great things that you did and carry those things over and learn off the things that you didn't do right and just continue to carry on. I think that they got a lot of good experience yesterday. I like what I saw out of them, the defensive backfield. So if they can just carry that over to the Philadelphia game, man, that'd be outstanding.
So what you think about Overshawn and Kalen Carson?
I thought Kalen Carson, especially after last year, man, I was one of the ones that was like, how this guy get a doggone nickname, and he didn't perform well last year. But I think for the last couple of weeks, he's been kind of coming along. Cornerback is a confidence position, also.
Mm.
You got to have confidence, and I think last year's confidence kind of taken away from throughout the year. Um,
Savon
Overshawn,
Rivell.
yeah, Ravel. I just hadn't seen it. I know he was out there. I know he did get one
Hmm.
penalty. Um, but from what I've been hearing and seeing on Twitter or X, some people said that he did well. So I had to take their word for it. Some people that really studied the film and all that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. So
Hmm.
Overshawn, we just gotta, he did okay. We just gotta take it slow with him. I just don't want them to put too much pressure on the guy coming back off an ACL injury, like for him to be the savior. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah,
He had some issues with the brace.
yeah. Which I don't even like guys playing with braces at that position, right?
Hmm.
So that I don't know. I don't know what that says. I don't know if he's coming back a little bit too soon or whatever. But overall, man, to hold those guys to one touchdown and 3 field goals. Anytime you can do that in the pros, no matter who you're playing against, that's still outstanding. And
I,
to get a safety.
I thought Hooker and Wilson looked good. They came up, they made plays. Probably the first game I've seen Donovan Wilson play where he didn't get caught up downfield, covering receivers or tight ends downfield. I don't know if that was a change, but he came up, he made tackles. I mean, they tackled defensively. They didn't have a lot of missed tackles. I didn't really see a lot of missed tackles last night. They were coming up, filling the gap. So yeah, it's encouraging. Got to carry it over. I was really feeling good about Clowney. Going into the game, he played well. Houston. I mean, this defense, man, they played well. I'm thinking that how many did the Raiders have any long drives? I can't remember the longest one they
I
had.
don't. I don't remember. I don't remember one either.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
I don't
we
remember long drives.
know we gave them a short field at one point, and we held them, had them, made them punt. So it's but yeah, they defensively they look good. And then so that front they were playing, it looks more like a 5-2 where they've got Clark, Osa, and Quentin Williams on the field at the same time. I thought that looked really good. So yeah, it was I thought it was a really good night for the defense.
Well, that was if you look back at it, probably Osa's best game.
Hmm.
He was really active, and I think it's no coincidence that Quentin Williams, and Clark are taking up so much attention that he's getting some one-on-ones, and especially getting to obvious passing downs. I think that's what the Raiders were in. At that point in time, man, hey, we locked and loaded. We're going after the quarterback. So I think we dictated the pace. Whenever we can dictate the pace, man, hey, let's just call it what it is. We are front runners in that aspect. And I think
Yeah.
most teams are though, but we are to a certain to even more so. When we up on you, man, we get up on you. We gonna, we gonna kind of put it on you at that point in time because you felt right into our hands. Now we're just gonna pass rush you and look for picks, interceptions, pick sixes, and all that kind of stuff.
We came close to getting a couple. Carson and Bland got pretty close. Well, Hooker did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think the physicality and we just the intensity. That was what we're missing on our defense. And we saw that last night. Now Sunday, I think it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a game where you got to show up. They come into your gym.
Yeah.
You can't go out there just jacking around with this team. What the Eagles do, I watch them a lot. What they do is they don't do a lot. They just wait for you to make a mistake. Okay, when you fumble or when you decide to go for it on fourth down and you don't make it, that's what they wait for. So when you play them, sometimes you got to take a field goal. Dan Campbell Sunday night, he really cost him the game because he
Yeah.
just refused to take the field goal, and it would have been a lot. It would have been a closer game. He went for it on fourth down way too many times. Uh, in his own territory. So those are the kind of things when you play the Eagles, you got to just play field position and you got to play smart to beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so overall, I guess our defense, I would say I was impressed with them. For what they did again, did what they're supposed to do to that bad Raiders team. And I tell you what, man, I don't know. I said this. I think last time me and you were on that Arizona Cardinals loss is looking worse and worse as the weeks go on, right?
That's gonna be the one that get us if we don't make
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because they just losing to everybody. They getting their butts whooped by everybody. I was like, how did they beat us, man?
They might be worse than the Raiders.
Ah, no, no.
They
The
ain't bad. You
Raiders
don't
pretty
think so?
bad. Nah, at least they got wide receivers. At least they got running. You know what I'm saying? Somebody we've
Yeah.
heard of before. Those guys ain't got nobody over there.
But
I was like,
that Arizona game and that Carolina game, those two games right there, if we don't make it, it's gonna be those two.
I'm gonna tell you, not don't. Hey, leave Carolina alone, man.
They
Carolina's
winning,
been, yeah, they winning, man, and I think they may be first in their division.
and Chicago's
So
winning too.
yeah,
So
Chicago. Hey, at the start of the year, I look at it like, we're gonna be able to beat those two teams, and then we lose to them. I'm like, how we lose to these teams? Then I keep on looking. Other NFL teams are losing to them teams too. We're not the only
yeah,
one. I mean, Chicago's balling, man, and nobody ever thought that. They thought it was going to be a Green Bay, Detroit division, but man, Chicago's right in the middle of that thing, or even above those guys. So no, they doing well. Those two losses right there. The Arizona loss is the one, man. Stays on
yeah,
my
it's
back to be.
it's gonna get us if
Yeah,
we don't make it. So let's talk
if we
about the
don't make it.
offense. So the
Yeah,
offense. So one of my gripes with Cowboy fans and even content creators, they're trying to do this
yeah,
uh,
we don't need to do that.
Pickens versus Lamb thing. I don't know
Yeah,
why we're doing that. Just
I
we
don't
you
know
know
either.
we can't have nice things. Let's just
Can't have not. You know what? No other way to say it but what you just said.
yeah.
We can't have nice things. We
Hmm.
can't.
Yeah. And they already talking about the salary cap and Mike Fisher pointed this out today, and we talked about this before. He said there is absolutely a way they can pay Pickens and Kenny Clark. There ain't no
Yeah,
doubt about it. There won't be
absolutely.
any excuse not to do it. If they want to do it, the only reason they can't do it is because they just fall back on their old habits and try to pull the wool over your eyes. But I thought Pickens and CD. What I like about Pickens is this right here. And I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. I think when we talk about this culture thing, B Bird,
Yeah,
I still think part of our culture is what Jason Garrett did for 10 years.
yeah,
So Jason Garrett had this culture where he didn't really want the type of players that Dez are, Pickens, the Michael Parsons, those type of players. He he in the front office, they did not want those guys. And I think that
yeah.
affected our teams. We played teams
Oh,
like
it
the 40.
definitely did. It
We
definitely
had
did.
teams like the 49ers coming into our stadium, punking us.
With
It's
the boombox.
because with the boombox, it's because players like Pickens, CD, they just don't want those kind of players. So what I like about Pickens is, and yeah, he got some penalties. He got one last night too. But that intensity, the way he plays, it's just like Michael Irvin did in the '90s. You know, Michael Irvin didn't get a lot of penalties, but he was flamboyant. He was going to do what he was going to do. So that's what we need for this team, and we saw some of that last night.
Yeah. Hold on for 1 second.
Hmm.
So like my man Bone Crusher used to say, I ain't never scared. That's who Pickens is, man. He ain't scared of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a huge Dez Bryant fan, and I cannot remember who the safety was, but we played a game against Philadelphia in Philadelphia. And pregame, the safety was out there talking to him. And next thing you know, him and Dez was going at it.
Yep.
Well, you can tell who the alpha was because they had to have four dudes pull Dez back. And
Mm-hmm.
they ain't need but one dude to pull him back.
Mm-hmm.
And so even they pulled him back, Dez went back over there and was still up in his face. That's the intensity, man. Like Dez Bryant's gonna go down, but in my mind, he's one of the greatest Cowboys.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have the mentality of the group around him. He needed more players with his mindset, less players than with the other mindset. So what I coined them, and I'll take credit for this. I called the Cowboys the corporate Cowboys about 3 years ago because they become so corporate. And let me tell you something about a corporation. A corporation don't really have uh, uh, passion. They just have cogs in a wheel that just keep the corporation going, and everybody just get their paycheck and keep on going. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because in a corporation, you're not necessarily, you're just going to get, hey, I'm taking care of my family, I'm doing this. You're not invested in the heart, with your heart into the company. So, but football is still a passionate, heartfelt sport. And so guys like Dez, guys like Pickens are definitely needed. Guys like Debo are definitely needed. Now, some people outside of our culture might think that it's not. But you got to realize that the people that's outside of our culture don't understand that 80% of those guys in there are inside of our culture. So we kind of know some of these things. I knew that Dez Bryant had the mentality to be a world champion. It's just that he didn't have the people around him. A guy like Dez Bryant, his mentality does not work in a corporation. A guy like Tony Romo, Dak Prescott does. A
Mm-hmm.
guy, you know what I'm saying? Those kind of guys do work. A guy like CD does too, for a certain extent. But you need guys like that, man. You need fiery guys like that, man. Guys that ain't never scared. That they don't. If somebody get in somebody's face, it's gonna be those guys getting in somebody's face. We need to be the aggressors instead of being. We've been the hunted for so long.
Mm-hmm.
When have we hunted? We got to be hunters. Dez Bryant and Pickers are hunters, man. They
Yep.
don't get hunted. They hunt people down. They score a touchdown on you and go look for you to go tell you how they did you. And you on the ground, they don't care. They're gonna stomp on your heart and your soul, man. So I love the Pickens thing, and I'm gonna go on for a moment here, man, if you don't mind.
No, you're good.
Absolutely right about. Let me tell you something. So in 2023, the Eagles signed AJ Brown and the Devontae Smith for 32 million and 27 million. Well, you add inflation onto that. Well, now what you got is you probably got $230 million. What you had to do in 2023 and what you would have to do in 2026 probably equals to 2023 will be 30 million, 35 million, $32 million or $33 million. So the 30 million and $30 million receivers, that era is really here. And
Yeah.
Dallas can do that, right? You could do, like my man Lando says, hey, this salary cap is just a accounting construct. You could do whatever you want to in it. It just depends on what you feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
The what it is the Joneses really don't like pushing money down the ways. They don't want to spread a contract over 6 or 7 years, right? Because they don't want to be dealing with dead money whenever that player hadn't played here in 3 years. But that's the way teams stack their teams for the now. That's how Philadelphia is done. They say, man, in 2029, we'll worry about 2029 when it comes. We're going to try to win these 3 Super Bowls right now, and we'll trade in a bad year in 2029. So let's talk about somebody else that went all in. How long did the LA Rams, after their Super Bowl, stay down? They stayed down
And
1 year, and they kind of
mm-hmm.
bounced right back again. So this cap hell thing is really a fallacy, and fans got to stop buying that. That's what
Yeah.
that's what the problem is because the front office knows that we could sell this and that. Dak make it 60, so we can't sign anybody else. All I point to is Hurts make it 55. That's $5 million difference. But look at all the players he got. How did they get all
Mm-hmm.
those players over there? Show me the difference, and the difference is the structuring. So Pickens and Lamb can't be on the same team. If you want Clark back, you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
because now is the time to do those things. You got Dak in his prime. You probably got him 2 or 3 more years where he's going to be a top-notch quarterback. Give that guy what he needs. Now, one thing too, I thought about. Say we make a good push and we go 9-8 and win like uh, 5 of our last 6 games or whatever. I think we got 7 games left or something like that. I can't remember how many we got left. But anyway, if we don't lose one game, we miss the playoffs. Well, if that happens, I don't want nobody. I don't want the Joneses to be like, man, all we got to do is bring the same team back. No, build upon what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Still go and still churn and go see if you can get better at some spots. See what you can get in the draft. After the draft or before the draft, use free agency to go get quality guys that upgrade you. And I'm sorry for going on a rant there, man, but
No, you're
love
good.
is only thing I said. I tweeted Lou today because Lou said last night he was arguing with the panel on the post game show. I listened to it this morning, and he's saying that they should have signed Pickens when they traded him, and everybody was going against him. Nah, we need to see more. Nah, we need to see. I said, man, I tweeted him and I said, hey, you were right last night. And I definitely believe that you got to have the guts to say. Sometimes you don't need all the information. You ought to. You got
Yeah.
to go on. Hey, they give me a little bit, but how does this go for what you think it's going to be? Because if you make that decision early on, you save yourself a lot of money. The Cowboys have made late decisions. That's what does that. Do that. And he tweeted back to me, said, man, I actually got that idea from you. He talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he said, because I've been saying that you should have signed that guy a long time ago. Now, and this is not hindsight for me, but it's hindsight for everybody else. Now everybody's like, sign him. Nah, man, it's gonna cost you some money to sign that dude now.
And they should sign him as soon as they can, and
Yeah.
just keep it moving. And I was going to tell you about the Rams, and I heard this yesterday. This blew me away. The Rams, they have the Atlanta Falcons #1 pick. So you see
Oh
how the
wow.
Falcons are playing. So the Rams are going to probably have a top 10 pick. So
Yeah, man. I didn't
what
know
what
that.
what what they should do, the legacy media members in Dallas, they should have a press conference and they should have Jerry and Steven sit there and just drill them on this Rams thing, how they tried to play that up. They talked about they were never going to do with the Rams. Now the Rams have won a Super Bowl. They went to an NFC Championship game last year, and they got more picks coming. That's just a well ran franchise. The
Yeah.
Eagles, the Rams, they're running circles around the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Detroit.
Detroit,
Yeah.
and so they need to do a 2 hour press conference and just drill them on the way that they've done this camp, the way they've dropped the ball, the way they've mismanaged it. And we still sitting here right today. We're the only team in the NFL that hasn't had an NFC championship game in the last 30 years. And because of what they did earlier this year, we may be looking at 31 years. But you're right. As soon as the season is over, they should not go on vacation, and they should just start looking at what I've already kind of started looking at the draft. I was debating with somebody yesterday about the running back. We got people already saying we shouldn't take a running back. I don't know why. What I say is just take the best player. So if Love, the running back from Notre Dame, is there, if he's the best player, just take him. What are
Yeah.
you waiting for? But
Yeah.
going back on the offense, I think we saw Lukey kind of get involved last night.
Yeah. It was
Uh,
great.
uh, I think everybody played well. We even saw Malik Davis. I wish he had got a few more carries.
Man, I
But
love that. I love Malik Davis. I love what he always. I'm sorry to say this, man, but you
no,
brought that in.
yeah,
I love Malik Davis. I love what he brought. And I think that 1-2 punch, man, is going to be great. And that don't mean that you're giving up on Blue. But
no,
right now, Malik Davis is a more accomplished running back, more of a
yeah,
fit. He's more of a downhill runner.
downhill. He
Yeah,
get
so
right to the hole.
yeah, I love that, man. It's no nonsense. Hey,
Yep.
if it's 5 yards to be got, he's gonna get 5 or 6 yards. So
Yeah.
I think he's doing outstanding, man. Question I
He's
had to ask you, man, and
mhm.
because my son, me and him always talking, and why aren't we not playing Floyd Nord more, man?
Well, good question. And so we saw last night. Now I'm going to say this: I still believe that Turpin can bring something to the team. I think he's still kind of dinged up. He's gonna come around, but he's gonna make a play when he need to. But to your point, Flournoy should be playing. They didn't. They yesterday they said Mingo was a healthy scratch, so
Yeah,
you don't really have room for him. Now you're not going to take Turpin out because he has to run punts and
yeah,
kickoff
punt
returns.
and
And
kickoff. Yeah,
Turpin did better last night. So I think once he gets healthier, he's going to be able to do something for you in the passing game. But no, Flournoy, he should be playing. No question about it. I liked him from day one, and
yeah, me too, man.
so yeah, just there's no reason to not play these guys. And you saw last night you can play these guys. It's plenty of balls to go around, and CD and Pickens got there. CD actually should have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
So Noah had one. So yeah. Now what I think we need to add B Bird, and I don't think we have it. Well, let me say this. I think we do have it, but he's not active. We need a number 2 tight end. I don't believe we have a number 2 on our team. I think Spanford does a great job at blocking.
yeah.
But I think they need to try to get. Did you check out Fairweather during the preseason? He's a tight end, young guy. I think he's a guy that they need to come and they need to bring him in.
No,
So
I
he,
didn't. I guess I don't remember him.
so he's on the practice squad. So
Oh,
he
okay.
went to Auburn.
Yeah,
It's just a supreme athlete, catches the ball well, not a great blocker, but they need to get him up on the active roster. He could be. We need a number 2 tight end. I don't think Schoon and Spanford. A lot of people like Spanford. He does a great job blocking, but I think we're missing a number 2 tight end.
yeah. So back to Turpin, man. And my son brought something up last night because he's in school, but we talking while the
Mhm.
game's over with. He said, Dad, what is Turpin really giving us as a wide receiver? I said, son, I said, I don't know. And
Nothing
when
at the
you said
moment.
that, nothing at the moment. But him and Tolbert do nothing to keep Flournoy off the field, man. You
No.
got to start feeding that guy, man. And the number 3 is not going to get many catches. But
Mm-mm.
the thing is that I think if you're looking at competition and what people have done and what they've earned, Flournoy has earned more this year than Tolbert has,
Yeah.
than Turpin has. And the thing about Turpin is part of that is I think is politics, financial politics. We paid him to
Mm-hmm.
be our number 3 and kickoff returner, so we're going to put him out there. But if you're doing pure competition, then you say no, the best person won, and we'll figure this out in the offseason. We can't deny this guy Flournoy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And this guy is all he's did everything that we ask him to do when he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does, and does it. He does it to the utmost, right? So,
Yeah. He's
uh,
talented.
can I ask you something, man? I
Yeah.
thought about this last night. So, I guess the story was you could correct me if I'm wrong. Why CD and Pickens were did not start the game was because they stayed out after curfew.
That's what I heard. I heard a couple of people say they were at a adult what do you call it place.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
That's what the word is.
yeah.
But
And,
yeah,
and
they
okay,
came in late.
so this is what I would say, and this is not extraordinary to me. Pickens is having an effect on CD rather than CD having an effect on Pickens, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad thing, um, because I think that the corporate structure of the Cowboys has tapered CD's personality.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think sometimes you got to be a little loose. I remember Dion went to 49ers, and when he came, the defensive backs was asked, a couple of years later that was on the 49ers, they said, like, what did Dion bring? He said, man, to be honest with you, he has brought a confidence and a looseness with us. And you can
Yeah.
see it on the field, man. We was all trying to make plays because he made plays. Merton Hank said it. He was the one that was talking about most. But he said, man, we all out there trying to make plays. Why? Because, man, Dion making plays, he thought he had us feel like we was Superman.
Yeah.
I think the same effect can be had with Pickens on CD. Because,
Yeah.
see, if they're in Vegas in 2024 season, CD ain't getting that. He ain't gonna be staying out at the club like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not justifying what they did, stand out after curfew or anything like that. I'm just saying the mindset of CeeDee Lamb is being affected. I think it's going to be affected in a good way. You need dogs out there, man. We
Man,
got to have
this
dogs on our team.
this corporate thing that Jason Garrett and them put in, they call it right kind of guy or RKG.
Yeah, yeah.
That culture has not helped our team.
No,
You may have heard this. So Dez, this is one of my favorite stories that I listen. I see Dez doing a lot of media and stuff. So I'm gonna take you back to 2016. Okay, so that I believe I call myself a 2016 truther. I think 2016 was our best chance we had in making it to the Super Bowl. Some people say it's 2007. Some people say it's 2014, the year of the Dez catch in Green Bay.
that's
Uh,
me.
I personally think that if Dez catches it, they're not gonna let Aaron Rodgers lose to us in that stadium. So they would have got the ball back. But I believe 2016 was our best team. So Dez told this story. He said the week before the game at practice, he said during the week at practice, he was getting the team fired up. He was trying to raise the intensity of practice. He was just challenging the guys, just doing what Michael Irvin did every day in practice.
Yeah,
Okay. And he said Jason Garrett pulled him to the side and told him to calm down, that he didn't really like the way things were going with him trying to get the guys fired up. And so I remember when they played Green Bay, so they got down 21-3, I believe, at
correct.
first. So I remember seeing a shot. They had a shot of Dez on the sideline, and he had this look on his face like it was kind of like I told you so look. But he said when Jason Garrett told him to not come to practice and do that again, he said he knew when that game started that they were not going to be ready to play. So thus they got down 21-3. Now they did come back. He almost won the game himself. But I said all that to say this. That's what this team has been missing for the last 30 years, 10 years, whatever the
Yeah,
case may be.
yeah,
That Pickens type of
yeah,
that Michael Irvin type of, the
yeah,
way you approach the game and the intensity. When you look at that team we had in the 90s, we had dogs everywhere. You had Eric Williams, you had Michael Irvin, you had, Darren Woodson, Charles Haley, those types of players. Just think about what Jimmy Johnson did when he was at the University of Miami.
yeah.
Nobody wanted to play them because they just
Nah,
they
they
just
won't.
had
Yeah,
dogs.
nah. They
So
had dogs all over the place.
that's what this team is missing. And so I was going to say one other thing to you before I forget this point, and I'm gonna let you
Mhm.
go. We played the Arizona Cardinals a couple weeks ago. So Kyrie Elam, there was a play when one of the Cardinals offensive line like grabbed him by his shirt and pushed him on their sideline. He just basically held him and just pushed him and just held him over there. I was
Yeah,
shocked beyond belief that no Cowboy player came over to the sideline, just to start a ruckus, whatever the case may be. And I said right then and there, that's the problem with our team. What do you think would have happened if somebody would have did that to one of the 90s Cowboys?
no, that'd have been a problem
It would
because
have
they
been a
got too many.
brawl.
They had too many dudes that was gonna get you. I
I don't
mean,
think
you
it would have
name
happened on the team that Dez was on. So that's
nah.
what we're missing.
Yeah, and so you don't need a team full of those guys, but you got to have some of those guys on your team, right?
Yes.
They just ain't gonna take nothing, and the other guys look out and be like, oh, I already know he gonna dog you out. He gonna tell you about it. He gonna be the alpha out there. We don't really
Hmm.
have those guys, right? Pickens is the guy that I think of when I say, okay, now that's your alpha right there, and
Yeah.
maybe Williams, Quentin Williams, right now too.
Yeah.
But
That's what they're gonna bring. Yeah.
yeah, and so we can't. What we can't do is get these guys in there. I often said this about Micah because I think I've seen a transformation in Micah, and it wasn't necessarily a good one. And I called in. This is my first time uh, talking to the bishop. I called into his show and I said, man, if you take a lion, the most ferocious lion out of the jungle, and you take him and you put him in about an acre area, and you put about 3 or 4 lionesses in there, and you feed him a half a sheep a day, and got all the water you can drink, then we just giving him a sheep. Then you do that for 3 years. You take that same lion, and then now you go put him back in a jungle where you got him from. He gonna get towed up
Hmm.
because whereas when he was first in the jungle. He had to fend for himself, and he got his reputation. He had to go. He had to go. He had to go get it to get something to eat. To get the lioness, he had to be the alpha. But then you take him and you feed him and you put him in this corporate atmosphere, this corporate culture. It's going to change him. And so now, then you go tell him to go out to battle again. Now you're going to battle against wolves.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to battle against lions that's hungry. A full lion ain't gonna be no hungry lion, man. So what ends up happening, we get people that was dogs in college, but then they come here and they acquiesce to the culture and they
Mm-hmm.
become one of the culture. Now Micah pushed against that a lot, but he still succumbed to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he goes to Green Bay and he announced, hey, I'm not gonna have a podcast. Why? Because they ain't tolerated over here. You can tell the culture ain't gonna really tolerate that over here. They tolerate the money making and put the money first over there at Dallas. They don't do that over here. They put football first. If they're gonna put football first, this podcast ain't gonna look right. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just telling you, and I'm not saying the podcast is good or bad. I'm just telling you that he put it down because he understood these dudes all about football at Green Bay. They don't care about that glitz and glamour stuff. They talk about winning.
Yep.
And in Dallas, we got a few agendas over there, and I can fit in this lane and whatever. But back to what you were saying, that's why like the Dezes and the Pickens, the Cowboys, we were trying to keep those guys. Come on, we got to talk to you. But I'm glad they don't like. I don't need a lot of stuff said about the Pickens penalty because I got a kicker. I thought about this. I got a kicker that can kick it. You know, he can take the 15
Mm-hmm.
yards, still make it. So I ain't even worried about that. So the 15-yard penalty don't even really matter that much.
And I didn't
You
even
know what
see
I'm
the
saying?
penalty. I don't know what he did.
So he did that thing where he jumped up on the goalpost where the padding at and
Mm-hmm.
held on to it and got
Okay.
a 15-yard penalty. But then our kicker just came back and kicked the extra point anyway, and it didn't make a difference.
Now
But
I did see Pickens talking to Shotty coming out the field a
that
couple
might
of
be what
times.
it was. And Shotty just talked to him, but he ain't berate him or anything because
No.
man, we need more of that kind of stuff, man. We need more guys that's like that. Like I've never seen the Cowboys win big with just corporate guys. It's just not going to happen that way. The biggest thing, the first loss to the 49ers in the playoffs, I think that was
The
when they beat us,
boombox
the
game.
Bulldogs game. That was a total corporate team, and they got punched in the mouth. And corporate dudes don't know when a street dude punch them in the mouth,
Yeah.
they don't know how to react.
And
They try to
that
figure
was a
out
winnable game. Now that might
how
be
to,
the second best chance they had to make it to the Super Bowl, B Bird. That team,
yeah,
it was a winnable game. Kellen killed us in that game.
yeah,
That was a winnable game. Uh, so yeah, and then the following year we played the 49ers up there, and again I think it was a winnable game. Tony Pollard got hurt early.
yeah.
Uh,
That hurt us,
that hurt
and
us.
we didn't have another wide receiver either, right?
Yeah, we
So
didn't. Or running
I
back
also
either.
I'll say a stat that you may not have heard me say. I went back and researched it. So in that game, in the second quarter, the first play of the second quarter, another wide receiver, I can't remember, called a pass, right?
For Dallas.
From for Dallas. Yeah, I'm sorry. From that play all the way to the end of the game, no other wide receiver called a pass but CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Well, they
So
they had
that's
yeah.
almost three quarters of a game where no other wide receiver catches the ball, and we got our running back hurt. So we was kind of in a bad situation on that one.
And going back to this salary cap thing, what they have done over the years is they will pay the wrong guys and manipulate the cap. So they still paying Michael Gallup, which is astonishing. But
Yeah.
I never thought he was a number. I never thought Michael Gallup was a number two. I never did. I thought
Me
he.
either. I
I
never
thought
did
he was
either.
a three or a four.
Yeah.
When we had Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, Amari, and CD, Gallup was the four.
Yeah.
So Nick Eatman, who's on DallasCowboy.com, I like respect his content. When the Cowboys had to decide between Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup, he said on their channel that the Cowboys made a mistake. They signed the wrong. They should have kept Cedric Wilson and they could have
Yeah.
let Michael Gallup walk. But yeah, so but going back to this team, that's kind of what I'm looking for the rest of the way. And Sunday is going to be another game. It's going to be a game for dogs. It's going to be a game for lions. Are we going to let them come into our stadium, We know what went down up there the last time we played with the guy coming over to our. That's another thing I'm getting tired of seeing. I'm getting tired of seeing guys come over to our huddle talking to Dak and don't get body slammed. But that's
Absolutely.
but so that's what's going to happen Sunday. I think it's going to be again. I've been saying this every week on our show on our OG podcast. It's a playoff game. Now, last night the defense met the moment, and they're going to have to
Yes.
do it again Sunday because the Eagles, what they do, they don't do a lot of things really good. They're not even getting the ball to Brown. What they do, they just wait for you to make a mistake. And so my advice to Shotty this Sunday, and I'm gonna have to debate this with my best friend. He wants you to go for it every time. If you're in the red zone, it's if it's 4th and 8, he's saying you go for it.
Yeah.
I'm saying in some of these games, you just need to take a field goal. So
Yeah. So you got to remember our defense played pretty well the first time we played against
yeah.
the Eagles. The Eagles aren't doing it. And let me just say this too. As much as I like Jalen Hurts, he doesn't scare me throwing the ball all over the place. Saquon is still a guy that you got to stop in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I do like AJ Brown, what he's bringing to the Philadelphia Eagles in the sense of he's pressing the front office, pressing the quarterback, pressing everybody
Yeah.
to open up the game a little bit more. I love that because that's going to
He,
bring a little bit of dissent in the locker room.
he's a
Everybody ain't
dog.
liking that.
Yeah.
And anytime you the wide receivers start being diva-ish over there, it can only help us. Lane Johnson is the guy that's going to be out too.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I like the complaining, the bickering. The last time they did that, they lost 6 in a row. So because they're not really a mentally tough team. I mean, they're good, but I'm saying that year they lost all those games in a row was really a fracture mentally. That's what that was. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But their coach has gotten a lot better. Their coach was to be way too emotional. You need your leader to be, right across. When things go real good, I don't go
Mm-hmm.
too high. When things go bad, I don't go too low. I'm in the middle. I can tell you, I've been looking at his demeanor. He's changed a lot, and that's helped him out a lot. And I was hoping that he didn't change. I hope he stayed going at fans in the stands and all that kind of stuff. I hope he was doing all that stupid stuff. I knew when he was doing that stuff, they weren't gonna win. That's bad leadership. But last year I saw him change, and I was like, I don't really like this, but because it's actually pretty good for them. But their offense is still struggling,
Yeah.
um, and so I kind of like it for our defense. We're playing at home. We're coming off a win. It's going to be some crowd noise there. It's Philadelphia, so it's Eagle Week. So we're going to be pumped. I expect us to win the game. I'm sorry, I just do. I know they're Super Bowl champions, but they've been kind of looking out on some of these games. But I think we still offensively. Dak has never been afraid to play Philadelphia. We've never,
No.
and Dak actually has a winning record against those guys. So I expect us to do well in the game.
So Vic Fangio, he's been dialing some things up. They putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So let's see, Guyton and Steele, they kind of need to button it up a little bit. I think the middle of our offensive line looked better last night. But yeah,
Yeah,
so Stoddy going up against Fangio, that's going to be a fascinating matchup. And look, man, if we got Pickens, CD, Flournoy out there doing this thing, I think we're going to be fine. Javonte Williams is still running well, so
yeah.
I really like the matchup. I want to see the Cowboys just really defend our home turf. Don't let this team come in here and push us around. We don't want to get a lot of penalties doing, stupid stuff. But let's just show up and play some physical football. Don't let these guys come in our gym and turn it into a boombox game. And so I'm really looking forward to it and how we gonna show up. I think I've been looking at the schedules. I think Sunday we needed Carolina and Chicago to lose, but I still think we gotta shout out this thing. We gotta win our games, and you just taking one game at a time, obviously. So, but I like the way things setting up for Sunday.
And I was trying to see what time we playing them.
We play at 3.
Uh, we play at 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
Because
play at 3.
I'm surprised they didn't put that in prime time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a 3 o'clock game, and then we definitely not looking ahead. Kansas City is going to be the same kind of matchup. They ain't invincible. I've been watching them as
No,
well.
they definitely not invincible. No,
Yeah, and the way
they
you
play them
beat
at home
them
too.
is yeah, the way you beat them, you just have to keep Mahomes in the pocket because he does a lot of stuff where he just kind of
Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah,
gets on the
he
perimeter.
does a lot of things on the move, man.
And oh, and speaking of, that's another big thing about this game Sunday. We got to figure out a way to keep Hurts in the pocket. So Logan
We failed to
Wilson,
do that the first time, right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
Murray,
just wait
Logan
until the
Wilson. I probably want to keep Donovan Wilson down in the box. So if we can just keep him in the pocket, as you mentioned earlier, he's not a great passer. So we need to come up with something that's going to keep him in the pocket, and that'll
hey,
bode well for us.
hey, you mentioned something. I wanted to get your take on Logan Wilson. Did you what did you think of him last night? The limited action that he's seen.
I like what I saw. I liked the way him and Murray played together actually. Damone Clark was inactive. Um, what's number 50? His name escapes me at the moment.
Shamar James.
Shamar James. He played decent. So I'm actually good with Murray and Logan Wilson, and then just keep Overshawn on a pitch count for now. Let him try to
Correct.
figure out.
Correct.
He kind
Yeah.
of I thought he had got rolled up on for a minute too actually last night. So Overshawn needs to stay off the ground, um, especially when he's around a bunch of guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like the way Logan Wilson played. I remember him when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl against the Rams that year. So yeah, I'm a fan. So I like the defense, man. They were impressive last night all the way
Yeah.
around. I mean, everybody last night on the
I
defensive
got
side impressed me.
I got a question I put out on Twitter, and you can answer this for me. So on the play where we got the interference call, I think it was against CD Lamb, for CD Lamb. It was against the Raiders, and we also got the personal foul against
Yeah, I
number
saw
six.
you tweeted something out. So I wanted you to talk about that. So you were thinking that they missed the call. We should have got the
Well,
penalty.
yeah. So the interference happened during the play,
Mm-hmm.
and then after the play, to me that's dead ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after the play, that's when the punch happened. Well, if it happened after the play, that's a dead ball foul. So you get the. I think you should have got the interference yards, and then you tack on the 15 yards.
Yeah, I saw
And
you.
so I
I
don't
saw you
understand why
tweet
they didn't.
that.
And so I wonder why they didn't do that. Maybe I maybe need to see both of them simultaneously to see how far they happen apart. Like, because it might
Mm-hmm.
have been closer than what I thought, right?
Yeah.
But it looked like that play was over with, and they were just talking, and then he got hit. So if that play is over with, then we're walking out for the next play. That's a dead ball. But I
Yeah.
know they probably don't like to do that because that's too many yards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. That's what it is. So I just kind of nobody ever talked about that, but I was kind of like I thought we should have got both those.
And they called one on Savon Rivell. I thought it was a little ticky tack. He wasn't doing a whole lot, but that's just kind of him, just kind of getting a feel for the game. So I like the way, I kind of like the way he looks. So with Overshawn and Rivell, especially this week, I don't think you want Rivell running around out there trying to get his confidence in this game. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, so I think they probably want to just kind of ease him in. Overshawn again, just kind of ease him in. This Sunday's game is going to be a physical game. It's going to be that's why I really like what Bland
yeah, I think
did,
so too.
Donovan Wilson did last night, Hooker.
Yeah,
They all kind of played with some urgency last night that we haven't been seeing. So hopefully some of these new guys we done brought in, Quentin Williams, Logan Wilson, that's what we're gonna need if we're gonna have any shot. Because I told Big Time, I think it's gonna go down to the last week. If we just keep winning,
yeah,
it's gonna come down to the last couple of games. And I'm still looking for Carolina and Chicago to hopefully start losing some games. I thought Green Bay might drop back. They ended up winning. They barely won Sunday. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game to watch, and we'll check it out. So Sunday, I'll let you know if we're gonna be trying to do thing. I probably should be okay by Sunday. I'll reach out to you during the week and let you know.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. We'll see how you feeling and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go from there, man. Whatever you want to do, brother.
And then I told Big Time he said he's gonna be good for Friday, so y'all can reach out during the week. So
Yeah.
I told him what our Friday show, it's gonna be some times when one of us might be out,
Correct.
so two guys will be good. So we can
Yeah.
carry the
Yeah,
carry the flag.
yeah, yeah, we'll handle it, man, till you get back, brother.
That's what OGs do, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So man, just talk about your channel and tell everybody where they can find you, because I always mess up my little script that I have. I gotta actually read it over here. So you
No
go
problem.
first.
Yeah, so it's B Bird Cowboys on YouTube and on X, man. I'm more active on X. But yeah, y'all hook up with me, man, and on Twitter, include at me or whatever y'all want to do, man. I'm always available and want to talk Cowboy football. I'm very passionate about this team, just like you, Cowboy Joe, and your son. And so, hey, we looking for six, man. But it's B Bird Cowboys on YouTube and on Twitter. So y'all like, share, and subscribe.
So our show is Father and Son Cowboys and Sportscast. So I do a show with my son. So I'm a third generation fan, and he's a fourth generation Cowboy fan. So we do a show, and then you can find me at Cowboy Joe 64 on Twitter. And I have a pretty live Twitter game. I haven't been doing a whole lot. So that the Marshawn Nealon thing, since that happened, I kind of been bagging off a little bit on Twitter, just not being as present as I had been. Just kind of chilled on Twitter a little bit after the Marshawn Nealon thing. I really like those shirts they had on last night. You check those out?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Said I'm gonna
Hmm.
try. I'm gonna try to get me one. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter and check out our show. So we're trying to get our subscribers up for both our channels. So appreciate Frem Brown 10 joining tonight. Anybody else that follows. So yeah, check out B Bird Cowboys on his channel. Subscribe to him, and then we're gonna keep it going, man. I really enjoy doing it, and then so Friday night you're gonna have the OGs with B Bird and Big Time show on Friday. They're gonna carry the flag for us on this Friday. All right, brother. Well, I'll reach out to you later in the week and let you know how it's going.
Yeah, do that, man. I appreciate you, man. And I'm
All
gonna reach
right.
out to you if you don't reach out to me.
Sounds good. Okay,
All right,
take care.
you take it easy, man.